Welcome to the Love Cape Ann podcast. I'm Maureen Alyward, your host, and here for the podcast, our inaugural podcast, is Ken Riehl, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and did I get that right?
Close enough.
And Sara Young. Sara Young is the president of the chamber this year, and Ken is the executive director.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
So we're here with this brand new podcast, and we're going through to have an update of what the chamber's all about. And it's exciting to be here doing this first show with the two of you. And why don't we just kick this off, Ken, with you? What's happening at the chamber?
Fantastic. Thank you, Maureen. We're really thrilled to be here. We have a lot going on as usual. I'll talk a little bit about just the last few months. It's been a very busy winter going right into the early spring season. One of the things that we're doing quite a bit more of are ribbon cuttings, believe it or not, which is such fantastic promotion for our business members and even non-members. I mean, if a business wants to show off a new location or a renovation, we're more than happy to do a ribbon cutting. Invite the mayor, the city council, the local town officials, the media, and our members to really give that business some great promotion. Recently, we supported the ribbon cutting on the boulevard in opening that up, and
the Tulip Festival.
Tulip Festival was fantastic. A little bit wet, but the rain held off, and it was really quite a great event. And kudos to Susan Kelly, who just was fantastic there in her efforts and all of her volunteers. And so that was a really great morning. We just did one most recently for One Stop, associated with the North Shore Health Project, Susan Gould-Coviello, who's on our board. And that was a very kind of touching ribbon cutting. We had a lot of people there, and what she does in that organization is really great for Gloucester and the Cape Ann region. So a lot of ribbon cuttings recently, a lot of great events as well. We just came off of a couple of really neat business after hours, which are networking events for us. We had a really fun time at the Common Crow with 75 or so members there, and to be able to show off that business, it went very well.
I have a question about business after hours for those people who might not know about it.
Yeah.
What happens, and are there regularly scheduled events to bring members together? And
They
Sara,
are. So I'd love to talk about them. These happen to be some of my favorite events that the chamber does, and we hold them monthly, usually from 5 to 7, and they're at different business around Cape Ann. Ken just mentioned our last one was at the Common Crow. If you have not yet been to their new location over off of Pond Road, it's absolutely fabulous, and it was great. I mean, we were actually 75 business people there, and we were mixing and mingling with people that were grocery shopping, and it was.
Really? So I was thinking, like, wait a second.
It was wonderful.
But business after hours at Common Crow, were they closed? What was happening?
Yeah.
Did you have the run of the place at Common Crow?
We kind of, but they stayed open, and actually Safathia, the mayor, showed up and for our event, but she did her grocery shopping, so she was mingling with people, walking around with her shopping cart, doing her weekly shop. So it was wonderful, and it's just. In particular, that one was really great for me to see where they've came from. Their business on Main Street, where those first couple of years, they struggled a little bit, and then really made a go of it, and now have a real success.
They're just going great guns over
They
there.
are,
I mean,
and two other great examples. Just for one more thing on the business after hours, we had a fantastic turnout also in Essex at the Village Restaurant.
Yes.
So that's a different kind of business. They've been in business for a long time.
Yeah,
and it was.
How long have they been in business?
I want to say it's over 50 years.
I was going to say they've
it's
been there at least 40 years.
I
remember them when
they're
I
an
was
institution in
are.
Essex and on the North Shore, and they're definitely a go-to local place as well as for the visitors. And it was fun to sort of show them off as still a very fun and vibrant business. And we had standing room only in the area for the networking event. It was really very well. Turnout was great, and they put on a great spread for us that evening.
So I think it's really an opportunity for our members to meet one another, to truly network, but also a great opportunity for the host business to reintroduce themselves to the community and promote themselves. So.
How does a business decide that they're going to be a business after hours? Do they have to be a chamber member?
Yep.
And then they say, like, people come on in, because I know the CB Fist did one a while back too.
Right. And we had a great one at Studio Crepe in Rockport. So we're the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce, and we spread the business after hours around on our 4 different communities. again, we do something similar with our business women's group, which also is a networking format. And so businesses literally come up to us and say, we'd like to do a business after hours. When can you schedule us in? At this point, we are scheduled out through the middle of next year because they become so popular.
way.
They are so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
And you always get a big crowd.
We do, and our next one coming up in later this month on the 25th is at Institution for Savings in Gloucester. And
That
the
would be
bank-
May 25th?
May 25th.
Yes, right.
Right.
Yeah, and the banks always put on a fantastic spread, usually catered, with beer and wine and soft drinks, and it's really a great time, and we always get a very large turnout. And so that's going to be a fun one, too.
And in order to go, do you have to be a member?
You do not actually have to be a member. We encourage non-members to come, check us out, meet other members, and the event is actually free for everyone, so it's free to our members as well. Obviously, the hope is that you come check us out a couple times and join, but it's open to anyone.
So people on the fence maybe who haven't
Right.
joined the chamber yet can go to a chamber business after hours
That's
event,
exactly right.
and it pulls people in and gets them mingling with other business folks.
Right.
And is there any agenda besides getting somebody to sign up for membership or renew membership? Or
Yeah, we always give the host an opportunity to give their elevator speech and tell the audience a little bit about what they do. We usually have some great raffle prizes. We'll do everyone drops their business card in a hat, and we give out some great raffle prizes. And then there's usually an opportunity for our newest chamber members to get up and introduce themselves as well, if they're not too shy to get up and do that. But we keep the program fairly short, usually about 15 minutes out of the 2 hours. We'll do a formal program, but it's really truly about meeting one another and making your own business connections.
it's a great event.
It really is. They're quite a lot of fun.
fun.
It's fantastic for the businesses, and it's a main reason that many of our members are with the chambers, because it's just a great opportunity to network. We have a lot of members also that don't use the networking events, and they get a lot of value from us in other ways, some of which we'll talk about this afternoon. But yeah, networking is 101 for a Chamber of Commerce.
Right. So it's a great event. So Ken, what is one of the other things you want to bring up?
I'm
It's
gonna-
quite a long list.
It is a long
for this
list.
inaugural
I
podcast.
don't know if you knew this, Maureen, but great things are happening.
I had no idea. We need to know more about how we can love Cape Ann more.
Yes.
Exactly right, and so that's become our tagline. And truly, there's so many great things that are happening around Cape Ann, and the chamber is integral to many of those. Not everything, but integral to many. And so we're coming up on the tourism season. Here we are, the middle of May, and our official tourism kickoff, if you will, is Memorial Day weekend. And so our chamber is very involved with the visitor-based economy and supporting all of our attractions, our restaurants, accommodations, the businesses that directly tailor to the visitors, which has become a much more important part of the economy here in Gloucester in particular,
right.
but the entirety of Cape Ann and Rockport, lives and dies by the summer season now.
We
So
do. There's some issues there.
There's some issues and opportunities. We like to look at the opportunity side.
Yeah.
And so-
I'm thinking about the train.
Yes.
I'm thinking about the train issue.
so
I might ask you about that.
We've been involved in that as well, as you may know, and we can happy to talk more about that. So upcoming visitor kind of kickoff, we actually we do an annual spring mixer, and that's coming up on Thursday the 18th, and that's at the Emerson Inn in Rockport. That's going to be quite a lot of fun, and all of our members are invited to that again, and there's no charge again. Just a wonderful way to kind of kick off the season in a fun, casual environment. And we'll give updates on what are the different tourism organizations doing, including the Chamber, and what's going on around the community for the different businesses as well. So we have that starting. All of our publications are now here and being distributed. The Cape Ann Chamber is relatively unique in that we still do a lot in print for our visitors and digitally, having multiple websites. So we'll do 250,000 pieces in print between our Cape Ann Guide, a Cape Ann map, a Rockport map, and we actually manage 4 websites. One is the Chamber website, but we have 2 visitor websites, and we have
And what are those?
the visitor websites are Cape Ann Vacations, .com, and the other one is specifically for Rockport. It's called Rockport USA, which is extremely popular with over 250,000 views annually. So it's a very, very popular site and critical for Rockport, for the visitors to understand what's going on there. And we have a relatively new website called Love Cape Ann. And that really is to support everything that we're doing now with the Cape Ann Community Foundation, which was started because of the Cape Ann license plate.
So is that lovecapeann.org or lovecapeann.com?
It's actually
.com.
.com,
Okay.
yeah.
They're all .com.
So just to talk a little bit more, about the whole visitor season, it's our publications, it's our websites. We manage 2 visitor centers, of course, where we are located in Gloucester is a visitor center. We also open a visitor center in Rockport, and we have a couple of different information kiosks around Cape Ann, and one actually off of Route 128. We manage the site at exit 19, the service area there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
I didn't know that was managed by the chamber.
We have a whole.
It's great.
We have a whole visitor information display rack there. That's ours. And then,
Any spots available in there, Ken?
as a matter of fact, there are not. It's become very, very popular, and I personally restock it every single week of the year.
Ken, tell me exactly what you don't do, because
That would be a
I
shorter
think
list.
that's a very short list about what you don't do, because what you do is just really incredible.
I'm happy to do as much as I can, and I have an incredible team, as Sara well knows. Right now, the chamber is operating at super high efficiency, and the team is still relatively new with 1 or 2 years experience in each one of them, but it's really a great team which allows us to do everything that we do with all of our publications and websites, and we haven't even talked about the economic development work that we do, and we do a lot in education as well. So those are our 3 major platforms: regional promotion and promotion of our businesses, economic development, and education.
So I want to just go back to the tourism
Yeah.
conversation that we just had, and I mentioned the train. Would you mind just talking to me about how you've been involved in helping local businesses? Because the train situation is that the MBTA has said that they're going to cut service on weekends, and Rockport and Gloucester are going to be affected by that. And I know that this is of concern. Certainly, I'm very concerned. I live in Rockport, so I live right near the train, and I know that the train can be quite annoying, living so close to it. But it's an economic multiplier for us. It's an economic engine, and I'm worried. So, what is the chamber doing to assist businesses in this area?
Do you want to jump in?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I think it started with the chamber really acting as a place to gather information. So I know the chamber's been manning phone calls daily from people who are concerned, just like yourself. And what we've been doing is taking all of that information and those comments to Senator Tarr and Representative Ann Margaret Ferrante. And also just trying to feed the information back out on what is happening. So there was a public hearing that was held at City Hall a couple weeks ago, and that was led by Senator Tarr and Brad Hill and Ann Margaret. And it was a wonderful forum, and Ken got up and spoke on behalf of the chamber and their members, and had personal stories from a lot of the businesses who had talked about the effect it's going to have on our economy. We know people come to go to the beaches. Our link to Boston is huge, but it's also going to affect people who work here. So many folks depend on the train to get to their job. And so we are pushing with Bruce Tarr's help to have the MBTA get back to us with a mitigation plan. Really what we're saying here is, we can't have closures without a plan in place for how people are going to be able to still access Cape Ann.
It's vital.
It is vital.
It's a serious concern for all of us to think about.
It is vital, and so we have inquiries into Senator Tarr's office as well as Representatives Hill and Ferrante as to what's happening there. And we actually have a senior transportation planner from Metropolitan Area Planning Council who will be joining us tomorrow morning in our Government Affairs Council to give us an update from their perspective and to talk about transportation regionally here on the North Shore. And so that our Government Affairs Council is really meant to address the economic elements of Cape Ann, and transportation is certainly key as part of that, and the whole summer closure is a big deal. And it's more than just weekends. It's actually, they're going to do the repair work on the Beverly Bridge, and that's the middle of July through the middle of August, every single day shut down. And then weekends after that through September to do what's called positive train control, which is basically it's an automatic braking system to prevent the trains from going out of control, which is mandated federally. It has to be done. It has to be done by the end of 2018, but we very much want to move it out of the visitor summer season.
Yeah,
That's
that
what we're
makes
lobbying
sense
for.
given the economic engine that those visitors.
That's
We
what we
just
think.
just coming from a Rockport citizen perspective, we just don't have the room for cars.
Right.
If
Right.
you take the train up, you just walk down. There's no parking.
Right.
There's limited amounts of parking in
Well, and I
Rockport.
would imagine Boston would have the same concern. I mean, people going the other way. If all the people that commute from here to Boston, where are they going to park? So it's a real concern.
Yeah.
I do just want to mention there is a petition on the city's website that people can go and sign electronically. So I encourage you to do that. I think it may also be on our website as well.
We had it on there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you so much for addressing that.
Yeah,
it's
pleasure.
it's an issue that's not only of concern to chamber members, but to everyone
It is.
up here. I think it's on our minds with the summer season coming up.
Yeah.
So back to what do you want to go to next? The visitor center again? Or
I think we talked about
The
the
community-
the
the
visitor
community
season.
foundation?
There's two other topics that we would like to talk
Yeah.
about, and one of them is membership, which is so fundamental to our organization. And
Yeah.
we've got a major membership initiative in place right now, which we'd like to spend just a few minutes on. And then we'd like to wrap up with what's going on with our Cape Ann Community Foundation. So, Sarah, you want to give a little update on our membership work?
I'd love to. So we are a membership organization, and right now the Chamber is about 800 members strong. We are one of the largest chambers on the North Shore, and our goal for this year is to get to 1,000 members. The Chamber has been at 1,000 members in the past, and we think that we can get there. As we've been talking about, the Chamber is more active than it's ever been in the community, and so we think that it's the right time to be a part of it. The Chamber is as strong as its members, and so we look forward to welcoming the new people to the organization. And I think we've got about 75 people who have signed up to help us go out and recruit new members. So if you haven't heard from someone yet, you probably will be soon if you're a non-member. And we have a great benefits package that we put together. So new members, I think, get over $3,000 in advertising, discounts on memberships at the MAC. Ken probably has the whole list memorized. I don't.
Ken, it wouldn't surprise me at all if you have that memorized.
I have a lot of it memorized,
Yeah.
but not the whole thing.
The whole thing. And then we are also offering members who join during the drive, which actually is next week. It's running the 23rd, 24th, 25th. When you join during the drive, we're actually offering you the first 3 months of membership free. So
You get an extension in your
essentially.
membership.
It's one way to look at it. We're discounting the price. If you want to think about it in terms of dollars, it's our normal small business membership rate is $360, and we're discounting it to $295. So for less than $300 a year, that's about half a cup of coffee a day these days. You can be a member of the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce, and for some businesses, it's just intuitively obvious. The visitor-based businesses, for example, almost everybody, our restaurants, accommodations, attractions, are chamber members. We have a lot of service members as well. It's not as obvious, but when you think about the trickle-down effects of what we do economically, directly as a result of the visitor-based economy, or economically elsewhere in the community, and also what we do in education and all of the events for the community, including the holiday events and bringing Santa here, and we just did the Rockport Easter egg hunt.
Right.
We're a community organization. So So all businesses and residents on Cape Ann benefit from the work that we do, and a lot of businesses don't understand that. And so for $295, if your business doesn't benefit directly, your business is benefiting indirectly, economically, and from a quality of life perspective. And we're trying to get that word out, in a more cohesive manner, including through formats like this.
So it's not just companies, like for-profit companies. You have nonprofit members. And
Certainly, yes.
do you have other kinds of members?
Well, so great question. We've really tried to expand membership, and
Like individuals?
we do actually. Yep.
Oh.
So we've now created an individual membership, so anybody in the world can be a member of the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce. And important to note that we have a lot of members that are not on Cape Ann. So Danvers, Beverly, Ipswich, Rowley, Newburyport, Boston, nationally, like National Grid or Comcast, are members of the Chamber.
I didn't know that. That's really fascinating.
Yep, we're not just Cape Ann. Well, most of our members are here on Cape Ann, but we have many members that are off of Cape Ann as well.
And that's typically because they're trying to do business on Cape Ann.
Right,
So
exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense to join the chamber.
Right.
So you've got an individual membership, a nonprofit membership, and a for-profit
We do,
membership.
and basically the way it works is our nonprofit is half our for-profit rate, and our individual is $100. So for $100, you can be basically donating, giving back to your community through the chamber, and you'll be put into our database, and you'll get all of our email and website and access and newsletters and monthly magazine soundings. Invited to all of our events. So my mom, your friend next door, can be a member of the Chamber of Commerce for only $100 a year.
Yeah, I might mention to it my neighbor next door. I think as an individual she might benefit
Sure.
from that. So let's go to the Community Foundation and talk about that a little bit, because that's an important part of your work, and
It
it's
really
a new
is.
one.
Yeah.
And if anybody's driving on the road these days, they can see part
Yeah.
of why it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the way here, Ken and I were pointing to all of the Cape Ann license plates that we saw on the road. It's been really great to see them out there finally. And so the foundation was formed. I'll kind of kick it off.
Yeah.
I also sit on that board as well. So the foundation is a separate nonprofit from the Chamber of Commerce, and we were formed to be able to take the profits that come from the license plates and re-grant that money out into the community along the similar platforms that the Chamber also covers. So regional promotion, education, and
Economic
development. Thank you. And so we're really excited. We actually just got the first payment from the registry for the first 900 plates that were sold, and it's very, very easy to sign up for a Cape Ann license plate now. You can go to lovecapeann.com, and there's a link there that will take you straight to the registry and fill that out. No need to actually go to the
You can't. You don't have to
You
go
don't have to go.
Don't have to go to the registry.
They will
I
mail
know.
it to you. It's a
Which is tough on us
real
early
gift.
subscribers.
Yes.
Us 900 people who
Why
signed up
did
early.
you have to go to the
All of
registry?
us had to go to the registry. Yes.
Okay, well,
So-
you've got
so
that.
we
The next wave.
we paid the penalty for being the early subscribers.
And the next wave gets to just go on the website.
go right online, sign up, and they'll mail it to you.
Yep, and
a
that's the way it'll
beautiful
be,
thing.
forever. So that you'll never need to go to the registry again. It's all done over the mail, and just you sign up online.
That's
and so it's
great.
as easy as possible, and it's $40 every other year is the
Okay,
price.
so it's $20 a year for your
Correct.
license plate?
$20 a year,
Okay.
right?
Now, did you mention you're starting to get RFPs in for grants, and how
Mm-hmm.
does that work?
Yeah, so the board has put together this RFP, and you can. It's again online, and it's also been advertised in the local papers. So we're looking for local nonprofits to submit proposals to us under those three platforms. And so we're really looking to, I think, over time, as more plates get on the road, there'll be more money available to grant out. But we're really excited to see what innovative, exciting ideas that local nonprofits have that we can support. So if you want to add anything on that.
Just that the application process is open, I believe, through the end of June.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll evaluate those on the board and make a decision for this year. And the website to again find that information, just as the same with our license plates, is lovecapeann.com. And so that puts you in a community, Cape Ann Community Foundation website. And you'll see the license plate information out there. You'll see the granting information. So we're trying to put all of that now into a single place. It's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
It's been a long. I mean, it's been a long road. No pun intended. But this has been a 3.5-year project to get to this point.
I remember. I think interviewing you, Ken, and talking about what the possibilities were with the license plate. So.
Yeah,
great.
we thought that the plates would come along much easier than they did. We had to do a lot of marketing on it, and we continue to market because we need to get to 3,000 plates. We still have an obligation with the registry. We have a big bond in place with the registry until we get to 3,000 license plates. And so the sky's the limit in terms of how many plates you can ultimately have. There is no max on it, but we need to get to 3,000 minimally to be relieved of the bond.
Yeah. I think that the most successful plate that we know of in Massachusetts is the Cape Cod license plate. And I believe they have over $1 million that comes into their foundation.
Yeah, it's really quite amazing. And we have no aspirations to do anywhere near that.
Really? I thought I was just laying down the little competition here.
We absolutely will, being the other Cape.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, you gotta love Cape Ann. Well, we're kind of winding down on our time here for this inaugural podcast, and I just want to thank Ken Riehl, Executive Director of the Chamber, for joining me, and Sara Young, President. It's been really fun having this
Awesome.
conversation.
Thanks, Maureen. Yeah.
I also want to thank Becky Tober, our engineer, and our interns Liam and Katie for their help. I'm Maureen Alyward, and I hope that you'll tune into the Love Cape Ann podcast on our next edition. Take care.